Hello and welcome to Sam's on Wrestling, and this is our bracket series. We really need a better name.
We could make it a tournament, or we could make it rhyme like King of the Ring.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, I'm out
It's
of
going to be
ideas.
called the Brackets Forever. Welcome to this, where we take a certain wrestling category, put it into brackets, and determine the actual best. This is not like our top 10 series. This is actually where we determine which is actually arguably the best.
Yes.
But we do think that people just go for the cliche.
Yes.
And we try our best to actually see through the cliche, see it the time, see it the now, see the current.
We are men of culture and of nuance.
Yes, that's what I feel we are. We are looking today at what is the greatest Royal Rumble match. So not the best winners, not the what happens afterwards, literally the match itself.
I do think the winners have to be an element.
Yep.
That is
Oh,
part
no,
of
no,
it.
I'm saying, but it's not the fact that, this person is a rubbish winner. That's it, Royal Rumble is out. Here's how it works. We will take all the Royal Rumbles and we will put them into a random draw. Why is it a random draw, not seeded, Sam?
Because if you've seeded it, you've already decided.
Exactly. We've actually got some prelims for a change because there have been more than 32 Royal Rumble winners. We do have a few people who've got to do an extra match to get through, but that's fine. We are still doing our veto system. Here's how the veto system works. I, in this episode, have the full say because I've seen all the Royal Rumbles. That's pretty much how we decided between the two of us.
She was born in 1892.
How dare you? So Sam will get 5 vetoes. It means that he can decide against a decision I've made. He cannot do it with the same one more than twice, and he will not have any vetoes in the semi-final or the final.
I get the vetoes.
You get the vetoes this week. So if I decide that the 1995 Royal Rumble is the best ever, you can say no, and whatever you veto will automatically go through to the next round. Okay, but you can't do it more than twice.
Gotcha.
And the semi-final and final as per normal. So let's put the 5 for Sam on the screen. There they are. You've got your 5 vetoes.
I feel very good about that.
Let's begin with the prelims. So we're starting, Sam, with the 1999 Royal Rumble versus the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble.
Weird mix.
Wow, this is what the best thing about it is. Yes, we've got the women's in here as well.
Yeah.
What do you think? Where's you going?
It's not 99, is it?
99 is a terrible Royal
terrible.
Rumble. It's awful. There's no story outside of Austin and McMahon. There's no interlaying stories. There's nothing been built between other people. Outside of Billy Gunn and Ken Shamrock, which happened in the night. Billy had an injured ankle, had to run out and attack Ken.
I think ratio-wise, as a Royal Rumble, it spent the most time in a bathroom compared to any other Rumble. Can you imagine being at the pay-per-view thinking, this is a boring Rumble, I'll just go to the bathroom. And then suddenly it comes to you! You're in the right place.
Oh, could you imagine some of that American food gives you a little bit of diarrhea and then suddenly you've got Ken Shamrock test.
Just comes in. It's just all brawling.
Hey lads, what are you doing in here?
What's going on?
Doing a spot, shut up. But we will probably talk about the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble a bit later. Because let's be honest, I think we're probably in both agreements already.
Oh,
it's better than the 99
infinitely
Royal Rumble. Yeah. Our second prelim is the 2021 Men's Royal Rumble versus the 1990 Royal Rumble.
I kind of want to go to the bathroom just thinking about this too.
No, the 1991 is really good. It's the first proper good Royal Rumble.
Is it?
Yeah, there's spots going on. They actually do some build-up. They actually have a few things happening. It's actually a very good Royal Rumble. It's the one afterwards that's the rubbish one.
Is that the one where, what's his name? The Warlord goes in 2 seconds. Is it that one?
I think so.
And is that the one where you got the Bushwhacker match and doing and
Yeah.
then meet? That's fun.
There's some good stuff.
Is fun.
I actually think the 1990s is better than the 2021s. Edge winning is good. Christian returning, it's really great. Love that moment. But I don't think there's much else really. I think Hogan eliminating Perfect. Perfect should have won. Why is Perfect not winning? The title's not on the line. There's no main event at WrestleMania. Just have Perfect win.
Just win something.
You didn't win the one before. I think the 1991 is actually a very surprisingly underrated Rumble. They actually build spots. It actually makes sense. It's actually a very good Rumble.
I'll leave it to you then. I would have said 2021 because I just assumed that anything pre-97
This is the
rubbish.
first actually good Rumble. They worked out how to do a Rumble.
Yeah. I would have said 21, but
I actually generally think it's 1990. It's surprisingly, watch it back. It's a surprisingly not that bad a Rumble.
I have nowhere near enough information to veto you.
Yeah.
So
we have 1994.
Other one, whatever it is, the other one.
And 2023 Women's.
Yeah, sure. It's Rhea Ripley.
What a great last spot with Asuka and Liv. Liv gets sprayed with the thing. Asuka gets pushed off. Rhea has to win from number one.
That's the thing.
Why?
She's not number one.
Why did she need to be one of mine? She could have been 4, 5, 6.
Well, it was the fact that you had...
Bianca did 3 the year before.
Yeah, but then it was Cody won from 30, so you've got 2 things that should be rare. I think 30 should also be quite
30's now the number one. Now.
It's the first one.
It's overtaken 27.
You have 27.
Yeah.
I like the fact that it's a lucky number. I don't know.
Well, it hadn't been. No one had won from it since Austin in 2001.
I'm like, why not just make it?
So when they kept saying it, when they kept saying it, they literally haven't had it.
And then so they kept building up and then didn't do it. They can decide what number the winners are. It annoys me. It's going to beat 94.
94 is not a great rumble.
This is the what? Oh, it's Luger and Perfect.
It's Luger and Brett.
Yes.
Can we talk about that? They actually went over that rope brilliantly.
Oh, amazing.
I assume if you had the camera on the other side, you could tell who went. But to be honest, between those two, it's actually really, really good. But the fact that Vince solely did that because he did know he wanted a main event and he wanted the crowd to decide for him. How do you not know?
I actually respect that. I go, you know what? The fans can choose in this moment. Who do they want to...
But why do it in the Rumble? Why not do it somewhere else?
I don't know. Banter. Why not? It's funny.
You literally could have done the same spot somewhere else.
I like the fact that it was a draw. It's a different thing to do with the Rumble. I think it's interesting.
Oh, are you coming round to 94 instead of 2023?
No, I like the ending. I like nothing else about that. But
I can't remember much from the women's outside of the finale, really. That's the problem. It was a bit of a forgettable Rumble.
It was. Well, it's not great itself, but...
I think it does beat 94. 94 is just a series of jobbers until you get to the...
Luger and Brett.
Is that the same match where they go into the opposite corners and it's Shawn goes flying over one and I think it's Rikishi goes over the other one.
Rikishi, get it?
It's one of the Samoans. It's one of those. I can't remember which one it is.
I think I know what you mean.
It is one. I think it is Fatu. So, but I am 2023 women's, mainly for that finale spot. It's really, really good. Yeah. We have 1997 versus 1992.
Oh, okay.
So Austin's first win versus Ric Flair's first win. I think we know who's going to win, so we'll briefly have a little chat about 1997, shall we? I liked the first time ever of having a bit of Scar. Austin had been eliminated, come back and win it.
Yeah, a bit of shenanigans.
Really good, I like that.
Yeah.
The biggest problem with the 1997 Royal Rumble is they've got 10 wrestlers from AAA.
Yeah.
Or as I think they get called by OSW, the day labourers. The lad and lover. And Mil Mascaris eliminated himself because he couldn't be eliminated by someone. Fake Diesel... Fake Razor is in the match. Fake Diesel is in the top 4.
Fair play.
It's a bad Rumble as well. Austin's phenomenal in it, by the way. Austin's performance is actually really good. He looks like a real cowardly heel in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will get onto the 92 one later. Yeah. 92 wins over 97.
I think that's fair to Flair.
Fair to Flair. We now have 2010 versus 1988, the first ever Royal Rumble with Jim Duggan and the 2010 Royal Rumble. Again, I think we know where we're going to go, so we'll have a little chat about the 1988. Do you know who's number 1?
I have no clue.
Bret Hart was the first ever number 1. Yes, Bret. I think it's an excellent number 1.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
I like actually that it's on a TV special. It's to see if it worked because Vince hated it. Vince hated the idea. He was talking Patterson's gimmick, and they were talking to one of the guys who was running like TV production. He went, "Oh, tell him about your Battle Royal idea." And the guy went, "This is amazing," because it is amazing. Could you imagine if Vince had stuck to his guns and just not done the match?
The WWE wouldn't have been as successful at all. Like, that was a massive gimmick. Because if you look at WCW, they didn't really have those kind of things.
They had World War III in 1994. It is a mess. It's impossible to watch.
It is. So I think it's one of the most famous things. I think it's stuff like that that
in
made
wrestling
WWE
history.
What
all
it
wrestling.
Is. And other companies try and mimic it, and I don't even blame them because it's the best thing. It's so exciting. I'm
happy that Jim Duggan won. He's a nice person to have win, gives him a thing. I like the fact that way he won it as well. I like a low bridge. Actually, but we found that, and they did the low bridge really well. It's one of the best low bridges
really
ever.
Well timed.
However, I think we're in agreement that 2010 is the better Royal Rumble.
It's
and we
going
will
to be high.
Talk about it a little bit later. The 2016 Royal Rumble versus the 1991. This is a proper prelim. Get these two out of the way.
God.
Put them to the side. Which one would you rather have? Hogan winning another one in a match that no one cared about and it didn't mean anything. Or the 2016 one, which was like...
One versus all.
Oh, the one versus all. Roman again. No one cared. He got took out of the match. Why are you taking him out of the match? It made people want to boo more.
Like, it's not like he was injured. Like, he can't... I think they were so scared of another wrestler getting injured because of that build-up.
It wasn't even that. I think they were just... I thought they just wanted it to be like the returning babyface, and it did not work. And no one will ever convince me that Dean Ambrose shouldn't have won that match.
Yeah.
Triple H eliminates Roman. Dean eliminates Triple H. You get Triple H and Roman at WrestleMania in the mid-card, and then Dean, you can try and find an opponent for Dean. Don't care who it is. Could still be Brock. Brock might have enjoyed it more if it was the main event of WrestleMania. But I just think it was a missed opportunity. Give the babyface the win for the title.
The crowd
would have gone mad.
They were so mad you could have almost called an audible.
Yeah.
It's one of those where it's like, everyone's like, oh, come on, Dean. Because I think everyone would have expected Triple H eliminates Roman last. But it was genius the way they did it.
And then they didn't fully commit. Yeah. It's like when Sandow didn't win that Battle Royal, like Big Show won it. You're like, just have him win it.
They had the moment with Betraying the Miz.
And then they just went, nah, don't have him win it though. Yeah. Why not? So where are you hedging? Because 91 is Hogan winning again, beats Earthquake. Earthquake could have really done with a win as well, being the monster heel. Could have really pushed him over for that storyline. Not a lot else happens in that match.
No. And Styles debuts in 2016.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to take it over for me.
I think 2016, with the fact that there's a few things happen, there's the title on the line, will just nip it over 91.
It's got to be 91.
The 2009 versus the 2020 men's.
Harsh on 2000. I like 2009. It's not winning.
I don't care for it.
Okay.
So I actually think it's not the worst draw for me. I actually think it could have got further. But the problem I have with the match, the only thing I like about it is it's the first time ever that people who are going to work together get to the end. It never happened.
Yeah, I really like that.
It's the first time it ever happened. They talked about it for 20 years and never did it.
Yeah, it was really well done. It was my first... I just started wrestling, so it was my first Rumble that I'd ever seen properly, like, live. So I loved it.
Big Show eliminates Undertaker after he's already been eliminated.
Yeah, you don't like that, do you?
No, not a fan.
We discussed that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
I really liked the overall Rumble, and that's one, if we did a Sam vs. Sam, I could name a lot of entrants correctly.
The funny thing about the 2009 Rumble was the first one I really watched where I felt like the ring got full.
Yes, that was what I was just about to mention. And I like it because I think it's nice to commit to a choice. And I don't mind one where it gets full as long as you still have things going on and wrestling going on. And it's star-studded. You've got Triple H, Orton, Undertaker, Rey Mysterio in there. Big Show was quite pushed at the time.
Rey Mysterio starts that match with John Morrison, doesn't it? And he does a really good... He does a spot where he steals the Jamie Noble spot.
Yeah.
Everyone spots Rey Mysterio. He goes on the back of the Miz and Morrison and gets back in the ring like Jamie Noble did that at WrestleMania 24 in the Battle Royal in the pre-show. You Robsy. But sadly, I think the 2009... the one thing I will say about 2009 is it was the correct winner. Orton was really over good. The heel. He was meant to be fired as well, and then wins the Rumble. Yeah. Just fire him earlier. Don't know why. But sadly, the 2020 men's we're going to talk about in much more detail. I think. Yeah. Does nip over the 2009, but unlucky 2009, you go out in a prelim. 2015 versus 2008. So 2008, Sam?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about 2015.
I don't want to talk about 2015. No one wants to talk about 2015. It's one of the worst Royal Rumbles ever. Roman Reigns winnings again. Rock turns up. Big Show and Kane eliminate all your people that you actually
just
really enjoy.
Talk about it,
Brian gets eliminated really early. Everyone hates it. Everyone boos. And we're not going to talk about it ever again. It's terrible and I hate it. So therefore, the winner of that is 2008. 1995 versus 2000. Two not great Rumbles.
Oh, dear.
Well, 95 is arguably the worst Royal Rumble for star power. The fact that British Bulldog genuinely is your second biggest star in the match. And everyone goes, I went coast to coast. They were 1 minute interval, Sam.
And there's a reason.
Oh, it is a reason.
To get it out of the way.
They called the right thing. It's not great. The Shawn Michaels thing is fine and really enjoyable. I like the fact they actually played Bulldog's music. And Shawn eliminates him.
It's one moment at the end of it's not
half
even
an hour.
You know, there's some things in wrestling you go, it's so bad, like your Triple H Scott Steiner thing, where it's so bad, it's good. This is just I could watch that before I go to sleep and I'd be out by number 3.
It's literally a veritable who's that of wrestlers.
I just don't care. There's nothing happening. No, I just want to get away from that. I don't like this.
Okay, 2000, which is not a great Rumble in itself, goes through to the last 30
which frankly also gives me PTSD as well. I don't like either of these Rumbles.
The 2000 Rumble. 2021 Women's versus 2011. So that's the COVID Bianca win, which has a great finale with Rhea Ripley, top of my head. And then you've got the 2011 is the 40-man.
Yeah, is it Shayna Baszler in 21? Oh, no, that's 2020.
That's 2020 with the Charlotte.
2011, that's special place mark because I was 11.
You like it, don't you?
At the time, as a kid, because I was an idiot and I used past tense loosely, but I was an idiot. I thought, because they moved to 40, that every year they were going to add 10 on. So I thought next year was going to be 50 and 60 and they're just going to keep going.
No, you have to wait to get to Saudi to get to 50.
Exactly. Little did I know. No, it turns out they realised their mistake. I don't know why they did it, but I loved it.
They thought they had enough star power that they needed to get people in, but ironically, it was around the time that the star power was dwindling.
Yeah.
Like, you could have done it in 2007. Really easily, or 2008, but nah.
And it is a bit too long. But I still really liked it. And my boy Santino. I'm going to bring up Santino. That end bit where he nearly wins, come on. That's really good. And I like that they teased that. That was really good ending.
There is more in 2011 than there is in 2021 women's.
Way more. You've got the Nexus stuff happening, the Punk stuff. That's really good.
I think we'll have a chat about it a bit more.
It is a bit.
The 2021 is actually, I think, better than the men's personally. I think the men's is mainly based on Christian returning and Edge and Orton doing their 1 to 2, get to the end. Orton wasn't in the match, then he nearly wins it at the end, but doesn't anyway. What's the point? Have Orton win it if you're going to do it.
He actually did the Santino spot.
Yeah, I think 2011 does nip out the women's from 2021. I think the women's is probably a better constructed match. Just in terms of good wrestling,
you know what?
Stars.
I think pacing-wise, the 2011, I do actually think it's underrated. I think because it was 40 and everyone goes, it was 40.
I hate the pacing.
But what they did, the Nexus stuff goes
fine,
till 20.
But it goes for so long.
Yeah, but I liked it.
Oh, it goes for so long. No, the problem is, because they were eliminating people quickly, there was so much dead air. Oh, we'll talk about it later. 2011 we'll go through.
Mic, but that's...
Yeah. The 2023 men's versus the 2018 women's.
Interesting.
So
too modern.
Cody and Gunther, and the 2018 women's, this is just 12 legends turning up, eliminating people who aren't stars, and then leaving it with Nick. As we know, I love Asuka winning. It's one of the best things about that Rumble. But as we've probably discussed in a previous video, this ain't great.
No.
This Rumble isn't as good as people realise. Yeah. The 2023 men's is actually a solid Rumble.
It's better. I would, if I had to rewatch one of them, I know which
I
one
would
I'd be
rewatch
watching
that
all day, every day. So yeah.
Though I actually do rewatching the 2018 because you go, oh, there's Jacqueline.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kelly. You get a little flashback because now all those wrestlers now have left, like Dana Brooke and and all those sort of people that go, oh, do you remember them? Yeah. But yeah, I think in this case, the first ever women's Royal Rumble doesn't beat out the 2023 men's, mainly because I think of Gunther and Cody's ending, I think.
Yeah.
Our final prelim. Pick the bones out of this one. 2014 versus 1989. I have a theory of who I would go with the winner.
I think they should both lose.
I'm going to pick here 1989 because of the Hogan Ultimate Warrior spot. As much as then when they both get eliminated, the match comes to a crashing halt. I would argue it's the worst end to a Royal Rumble. It's actually the two worst ends to Royal Rumbles. Why would
Big John Studd win it over either of those two?
I don't know why they didn't go for Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
That's the one that confuses me the most, is why they didn't go for Ultimate Warrior, because that then led to WrestleMania 6. I don't know why they didn't pick Ultimate Warrior in that spot. I think they don't want to have him overshadow Hogan, so they had them both go out at the same time, because they knew they might probably head that way for WrestleMania. I don't know why you picked Big John Studd. I don't know why. The 2014 Rumble is so bad, Sam. I find it almost unwatchable. Roman breaks the record, which was so stupid. But
I liked it.
Do you want to know why I didn't like it? Right? Because it doesn't mean anything. When Kane did it, it was over this long match. And then when Brock beat it, it was when he started the match. Memorable. If you're going to break the record, it needs to be almost like Braun did it in the Greatest Royal Rumble, technically. And you're like, it doesn't mean anything. No. So him breaking it was just like, oh, he's got 12. I don't think anyone would notice. Anyone in the audience is there going, he's got 12 eliminations. It bugs me so much that he got the eliminations. Even when he was young and we wanted him to win over Batista.
Yeah.
Why was Bryan not in the match? Why was Batista the winner? We didn't want him. Why was Batista a face? It's not good. Genuinely, the 89 one isn't either, but I think Hogan and Warrior having that face off and the crowd going ballistic.
You got something.
It will have more, even though the ending is terrible.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
We're now into the top 32. We're going to go back to our normal phase where we do the top half of the draw, get to our finalist, and then do the bottom half of the draw. Sam still has 5 vetoes. He's agreed on all our prelims. This might be where it starts getting interesting. Sam, we've got the 2001 Royal Rumble versus the 2024 Women's.
Well, we know where this is going.
I think it's a bit harsh on the 2024 Women's because I actually think it's an excellent Rumble. I think it's really entertaining. I think it puts over new stars. I think Jade looks great. I think Tiff looks great. I think Bianca looks great. I think Liv looks good in returning as well. Liv returns, gets to the final. Bayley is a really popular winner. They do the damage control storyline. It's actually a really excellently well-crafted Royal Rumble. And I do think this is closer than people I think would give it credit for. We have to be careful with the attitude here because we love it so much and all this jazz. And I will point out that the first 6 minutes of the Rumble is actually a bit dull. Hardy's.
You got
botching.
Drew Carey.
But that's when it kicks off. That's what I'm saying. So Drew comes in. That's that, and then Kane. It's very good. Yeah. And then we have a little bit where the Honky Tonk Man ends the hardcore section. Then
he begins it, doesn't he? He hits him with the guitar.
No, he ends the hardcore section. They have hardcore, then honky.
Yeah.
And then we go into Jobber Central. I think everyone forgets that from The Rock at 13 to I don't know, so who comes in that's not a jobber, maybe Austin in 27. Well, that was a return. Yeah. It's just Jobber Central, so we do have to get careful when it comes to the 2001 Royal Rumble. However, the 2001 Royal Rumble does beat out a very, very good Royal Rumble in 2024 women's. We have the 2005 Royal Rumble versus the 1996, so Shawn Michaels beating Diesel in an actual hour-long Royal Rumble. It's one of the most forgettable Royal Rumbles in 1996. Not a lot happens in it.
I can't name anything that happens other than that finish where Super kicks him.
Kicks him over, which is good. Good finish. Good finish. Yeah. Really, really good. And they tried to recreate that with the Undertaker in 2007. That's what they missed and all that stuff. Yeah. Really good. Like that throwback. I actually like the 2005 Royal Rumble.
I really like it.
I want to talk about it a bit more because I think you would probably agree it's going through.
Yeah, it's going through.
2005 is going through by Sean. We've talked about the fact that 2024 women's is going to go out, and we've had the 2009 go out. We've got the 2013 versus 1990. I still think it's 1990 here. 2013 might be one of the dullest Royal Rumbles in history.
Bryan and Kane have a little spot, which is entertaining.
Is that Foley Santino?
No, that's 2012.
Is that 2012? So then the most predictable winner, Ryback's up. I'd have had Ryback win, personally. Ryback at the time was massively over. It was over.
But no.
No, you think about him now. Forget about him now. We know he's a tool.
It's not even just that.
At the time, he should have won that match. He generally should have won that match. But Cena didn't need to win. We didn't need Cena Rock for the title. They could have just done it again. I mean, I still would have done the triple threat match, but was the world title still going on?
Yeah, world title.
I'd have had Ryback.
Del Rio Swagger.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I was thinking that I would have Ryback win and go on.
He faced Mark Henry anyway
and lost.
Yeah,
I would have had Ryback win, and then go over to SmackDown and win the world title.
I wanted Punk versus Taker at Mania for the title versus streak, the 500 odd days versus 20.
I'm glad that they did Undertaker Brock. It's just sadly ended in concussion.
No, that was 29. Was Punk Taker?
Yeah, I know.
Did it.
Was it that year?
That was that year.
Sorry,
it was that year. Yeah, they did.
My brain's gone blank there. Yeah.
I just put the title.
Yeah. I think the booking of it is a bit of a mess. They just wanted to get to Cena Rock for the title, which then meant you knew who's going to win. It also meant Rock probably wanted a title win himself.
Oh, of course he did. Yes.
So where are you going? 2013, 1990? I still think it is 1990.
Thinking about this hurts me out of boredom. Both Rumbles. But
1990 is good. Rewatch it. It's actually a really
haven't
good
watched
Rumble.
It. First, I would have to watch it.
It's a really good Rumble. I'm going 1990. We've got the 2022 men's versus the 2023 women's. 2022 men's is one of the worst Royal Rumbles in the history of Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, you're right.
I hate everything about it. Brock, Shane, Bad Bunny. It's awful. Drew loses to Brock, which is unneeded, unnecessary. Brock already lost that night anyway to Bobby Lashley, and then Bobby lost the title back to him anyway, so the whole Royal Rumble didn't actually matter because Brock won the title at Elimination Chamber. I hate this match with a passion. I believe, personally, it is the worst Royal Rumble in history. Yes, it is worse than 14 and 15. This sucks, and Shane McMahon got fired the next night. That's how bad this is. He booked himself to come third and look good. I love the fact that his music played and Randy Orton was meant to come out, and Randy Orton went, I'm not coming out to your music, out you go, and send him out early.
Really?
Yeah, Randy Orton was meant to come out when Shane came out.
Yeah, that Randy did the right thing.
Oh, he did. I hate this match. I hate it so much. I actually don't think the 2023 women's is that in all that, but it's a billion times better than the 2022 men's.
Yeah.
So 2023 women's is going through. 1993 versus 1992. So 1992?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Randy Savage?
We can.
Trying to pin Yokozuna.
Wasn't this the year after he'd jumped off the top rope?
I think so.
In gag that he didn't understand the rules.
He doesn't understand the rules.
Basically, R-Truth before R-Truth.
It's actually not a great Rumble. Great Giant Gonzalez debuts and eliminates the Undertaker, and the Undertaker just lies on the side of the ring for ages.
Yeah.
They have a great spot, though. Not a spot, camera shot. Undertaker through Gonzalez's legs. Kevin Dunn every now and then would do beautiful shots, especially in the 90s. But yeah, the 1992 Royal Rumble, again, I think we'll talk about it later, is clearly better than Yokozuna getting pinned and turtling just Savage over. And then Savage didn't have a match at WrestleMania. He was on commentary.
On that WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 9, one of the worst ever.
WrestleMania, you could have fit him in.
Work Sean.
Yeah.
Have him work Sean. I'd actually have had a main event with Brett. Was actually what I'd done and carried on booking Yokozuna strong. Whatever. 2018 men's versus the 2022 women's. The 2022 women's is one of the worst Royal Rumbles in the history of Royal Rumbles. I would argue that it's worse than 2014 and 2015 men's. Why, again, they had no spots. Ronda Rousey just comes back not fit enough yet because she had just had her baby and hadn't gone to the gym and she felt subconscious. Subconscious? What? No.
I'm going with you.
She felt like...
Instinctively,
really conscious about her body, which is fair enough. You just had a baby, but she didn't have a chance. And this is what happens when you rush someone back. Have someone else win. You've got 2 women's matches at WrestleMania. Have her come back, maybe win the Elimination Chamber or something. You know, They could have had. We're gonna have a surprise in the Elimination Chamber. They've never done that before, and have someone return. We all knew.
Do an edge.
We watched that, and I knew exactly who was going to win. And you were there going, I don't know who's going to win. I don't know. You didn't predict Ronda, and I was there going, it's Ronda. Ronda's winning this match, and she just comes out. Really late, like Brock had done, and just win, and it's a terrible match. Her and Charlotte botched to go out. Oh, it's awful. We didn't watch Charlotte either.
Wrestling.
Oh, it's really bad. And 2018 men's Rumble, though overrated, has some really great moments in it. A great winner. It's a better Rumble. Heath Slater getting kicked constantly, and then eliminating Shambo.
He is only second to me in my heart behind Santino.
Really?
In terms of one of my boys, like I love Heath Slater so much.
One man band!
I could ramble about how I love Heath Slater.
Well, do you know what? You can ramble about him a bit later because I'm putting 2018 through to the next round.
There we go.
The 2020 women's versus the 2010 men's Royal Rumble.
The women's match has been hard done by, I think.
It has a little bit. It's a decent match, but it's the wrong winner. And that hurts it anyway. Charlotte winning was just so unnecessary.
It was purely for the sake of, saying Charlotte's the Rumble winner.
Why can't Shayna win? She'd chain away for the title anyway at Mania.
Yeah.
And they decided to have Charlotte go against Rhea for the NXT, lose the title, and then Charlotte barely do anything on NXT. Compared to Becky, when Becky won the NXT, she then had a great run on NXT, put some people over, had some great matches, make them a bit of a star. You know, Roxy Perez and Tiff and all that lot. And I hated the ending. It was actually a decent... To be fair, it wasn't decent until Charlotte actually came out, actually. It'd been a real struggle until Charlotte came out. And then Shayna comes out, eliminates loads of people, breaks the women's record, which is obviously new, and then gets eliminated. Cool spot. Hold on the legs, flips over. Like the spot. Not good. 2010s is actually a good Rumble. Now, I do have problems with the 2010, and I'll get to it when it gets...
I don't.
I have problems.
It's perfect in every single way.
Oh, we might be having some vetoes later, but we'll talk about 2010 maybe a bit later, but 2010 ahead over this. Unlucky 2020, but I think if Charlotte hadn't won and Shayna won, I think we'd be having a longer conversation.
Oh, you wouldn't be getting past my veto.
Well, I know that, but I think we'd be having a conversation.
Yeah, that's fair.
2012 versus 2016. Crap versus crap.
Oh, dear.
What are you going with here, Sam?
I will marginally go,
it's not good.
It's not good either way.
There's problems across the board in these
I might
Rumbles.
veer to 2016.
I'm veering to 2012.
And I can see why. I think 2012, it just gets really bad towards the end. You have Big Show come out and it's
such a difficult Rumble to get through.
Yeah, it really
is. It's a decent last 10, 12 minutes.
I really
by the way, I don't include Shambo and Jericho going longer. I'm talking 12 minutes and then them doing their little bit, which was fine. But let's be honest here. Let's be honest. The thing they should have done, A, is Jericho should have won. It makes no sense that Sheamus... Mainly because everyone was expecting Jericho to win. Sometimes the right person is the correct. Okay? Dave Meltzer said a quote that I actually fully kind of understand. He said, if wrestling is predictable, then they're telling the correct story.
Most of them.
And I get that. You can't be too predictable because then you bore people. But if it's predictable, it means it's going in the right direction. You're telling the correct story in the right way. Do you know how I would have ended the 2012 Royal Rumble?
I do.
Yeah, I would have had, let's say, Shambo and, I don't know, Big Show, whoever you want to do, on the apron, and the clock's counting down for the last person, number 30, and then Shambo and Big Show eliminate each other, leaving nobody in the ring. Jericho enters, because he's been doing the whole not talking, not wrestling thing, comes out, walks in, ding, 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 Jericho's the winner of the Royal Rumble, he does nothing. And that will go down in history. They haven't done that yet.
It's such a good gimmick. I really want them to do
and
that
they would
gimmick.
boo him mercilessly.
Yeah.
And it would have been really memorable.
Would have been amazing. I really want them to do that gimmick with someone like returning. So that exact thing happens. So like everyone eliminates each other. The bell rings and you literally get the countdown and you don't know who's coming out. You don't know.
You know someone's about to win.
Someone's just won and you have no idea who it is. And you can use that if someone's not quite ready to come back yet.
As an injury, yeah. Like, imagine if Edge had done it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it's a very heel thing to do.
The 2016 Raw has problems because, again, the wrong winner wins that as well. I'm still less so than the Jericho Sheamus one because Triple H is make the most obvious winner, but he didn't need to win the title. He didn't need to win a really important match where the title was on the line, just like in 1992. Reigns getting taken out halfway through the match was stupid with the terrible gimmicks of the League of Nations. Awful people, awful gimmick. None of them are over. And then you've got Dean Ambrose is getting massively cheered and doesn't win. I think 2016, now that we talk about it, does nudge it.
I think the crowd more into it than the 2012 one.
I think so, but not going to lie, apples and oranges.
It's a much of a muchness.
I'll give you 2016. We now go into the last 16 for the top half. We've got the 2001 versus the 2005 Royal Rumble. Two very memorable Rumbles, actually.
Yeah, very iconic.
2005 is a hilarious
It's
Rumble.
just the best story.
Oh my
God. The amount of interviews you could do with people. I love that. It's just... How do you tear both quads at the same time?
Do you know what? Let's just go beat for beat. You've got Guerrero and Benoit start. Yeah. Exciting. Then Daniel Puders...
Oh my God.
Gets... essentially, a bit of hazing, which I hate.
More than a bit of hazing.
Then you get the Raw and SmackDown on either side with general managers because they've done the West Coast Rumble. It's gonna be a Rumble. I'll turn that one. And then they fight. And then Muhammad Hassan turns up and they all join together and eliminate him. Yeah. Great. Then Kurt Angle comes in and goes ballistic after strong-arming his way into the match, and Shawn eliminates him. And then he gets my favourite gimmick. Kurt Angle comes in, takes out Shawn Michaels, sets up the WrestleMania match. And then you've got the ending, which is really well done. And then somehow Batista and John Cena go over the top rope, not planned, and land at the exact same. If you watch, Cena holds on slightly so that he comes out at the same time. If you go and slow-mo it, Cena actually saves it slightly from him Batista not going on his own.
I cannot fathom the panic you must feel as Batista in that moment. Because Cena's
he thought he was in trouble. He thought he was going to get fired or something.
Yeah, no, he did. I've seen that interview, with Chris Van Vliet. You must be so scared. And then Vince comes in.
Tear. Sits in the ring. Tear.
And say what you want about Vince, and you can say plenty of things about Vince. Tough man. To tear and be in that much pain, tear both quads at the same time, and be able to sit there and just with a straight face talk to people and figure out what on earth to do.
Can I point out though, we talk about a lot of Rumbles do star making. This star made Batista. This put him on because he still was in Evolution. He hadn't broken out yet. Yeah. And the Austin one was a bit more of an obvious winner and stuff like that. It's a really good Rumble, but I tell you what, there's definitely boring bits. That middle of that Royal Rumble before Undertaker and Kane go mad and eliminate everyone. That's when it happens. When Undertaker and Kane come in and just tear a house and do that spot. This is more tough, but I think it's more tough because 2005 is just hilarious. Yeah. And I don't think hilarious should ever win out.
Especially not against 2001.
So we're going to go with 2001, but I tell you what. Vince is in the ring. 1990 versus the 2023 women's. Tell you what, that 1990s had a hell of a draw.
You've really pushed 1990s, but I did not think it would get this far.
It's really good. It's really, really good. Genuinely underrated. The 2023 women's is better.
It's better. Yeah.
I really, really love the ending of it. I actually think it's one of the best endings to a Rumble. They're all on the apron.
Yeah,
3 of them on the apron.
Really exciting.
Great. So we've had 2 on the apron before. Actually, the women's, in Asuka and Bella. But 3 of them, the Mist, Blight, love that. So yeah, 2023 women's is actually going to go to the quarterfinals. 1992 versus the 2018 men's. We can finally talk about the 1992 Royal Rumble a little bit.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's
is
great.
It?
You can look at it's nostalgia-filled glasses, I think. It's haze-tinted glasses is what I'm looking for. But I still think it's really good. Flair makes the whole thing. It's the
Flair
glue.
is unbelievable.
He's him and Heenan, we know this. That's the glue that holds it all together as a narrative of like Flair's just getting beat up, but he's still in there.
Someone will still need to explain to me what Hogan, the babyface, is doing.
Stupid.
Holding up. Can we talk about, actually, this is where the first time WWE did, or at least we've spotted it, a bit of a dick move. Hogan gets eliminated by Sid. Do you remember what the crowd did?
What?
Went mad.
Wasn't cheered.
They were happy.
Really?
They were done with Hogan.
Yeah.
92, they were done. And they cheered. They showed a replay on Superstars, and they're booing. It's the first time they did it. They literally, if you watch pay-per-view, they cheer Sid eliminating Hogan, and then they retroactively had him get booed on Superstars. It's absolutely disgusting.
That is mad.
It's a really, it's one of the problems with the match, actually, is, talk me through the middle, Sam.
You get loads of people just kind of show up and beat up Flair and do some things.
That's the thing. There's not a lot going on. I remember there's a good Piper storyline. Piper's just won the Intercontinental Championship, and he's going for the second title in the same night.
Yeah.
Martel is in the match, and he's the year before had done the first Iron Man type thing. So there's a lot going on there. The 2018 men's is good, solid. 92 is better.
It's better.
Thank you, 2018. Thank you for breaking the monotony of terrible, terrible Rumbles. But the 92 was the first ever great Rumble and stayed that way for 9 years. 2010 versus 2016. It's 2010. Should we move on?
Yes.
2010. We move into the quarterfinals of the top half. It's 2001 versus 2023 women's, and it's 2001 women's. Well done for getting to the quarterfinal. You have a fantastic finale. It's really, really great. Rhea's performance is superb. Goes coast to coast, as much as we don't really needed it at the time. I think it's been overdone now. 1 and 2 and 30. Could we just have a 4, 5, 6?
I want number 4
Fill the numbers out.
Yeah.
Just fill the numbers out.
Do it.
I love when Michael goes, or JBL has done it as well, and they're going, Austin won from this number. Fill the numbers out. How have you not filled the numbers out yet?
Very easy to do.
Fill the numbers out. Come on, man. But yeah, 2001, well done. It was a great ending to it. Really, really good. But the 2001 is better.
Yes.
1992 versus 2010.
2010's taking it.
I've got 1992.
Oh dear. Why?
2010, the problem I have with this match is mainly around the fact that it just seems like a lot of really quick eliminations. There's no setup or anything like that. And I'll give you an example. R-Truth comes and eliminates Big Show and Mark Henry.
It's amazing.
Kofi's in, and then Jack Swagger just kind of throws him out. People are in for like 3 minutes. And there's just a lot of just kind of in, gets out. There's that middle bit as well before Triple H, Shawn Michaels and John Cena all get together that they kind of just throw out some people and they kind of just not do a lot. Like Kane gets randomly eliminated for no reason. Matt Hardy lasts about 20 seconds. There's just a lot of nothing. Punk's opening bit is superb. Like, what a way to start a Royal Rumble. And I like that they just threw jobbers at him. Yeah. I like the Beth Phoenix and the Great Khali. Up to that. But then Punk just gets eliminated. And again, I didn't understand why Punk just got eliminated.
I like the fact it's a very different style of Royal Rumble, and you know what?
That I agree with.
And in normal wrestling, just in a wrestling match, people get thrown over the top rope all the time. And in a Rumble, I know it's the point because you're trying to stay in, but everyone just develops magic powers where they're really good at hanging over the top rope. Yeah, exactly. Or Punk in 09. And I don't mind it, but it's a bit overdone. And I like the fact that because you've got people aren't in as long, you have to be switched on. You can't just coast through that. Like, no one is safe. Like, you think DX are teaming up and Shawn Michaels then just goes,
what
bang,
a moment.
Back to the Survivor Series thing. He does it again and kicks Triple H out of it. It's brilliant.
Awesome.
Amazing.
It's one of the best
Amazing
moments.
character work. And I think that the entire story of Shawn Michaels, that him trying to win the Rumble to get to Undertaker, it's just amazing.
Shawn's selling of that is superb.
And you said yourself in the 92 Rumble, you can't name many things that happen in the middle. And you don't like the ending, so I don't understand why you...
I still think it's the fact that the Flair win for the WWE Championship, him going coast to coast, it was just listening to it. Like, you could just watch Flair for it. So when you're saying there's not much happening in the middle, it was star-studded. I tell you what, that Rumble had people. I mean, it was just ridiculous the people that turned up. I still think it's 92.
I will disagree. And you know what, with 2010, you've got Cena, Michaels, Triple H, Edge, Batista, Jericho, Punk, and vetoing.
Fair enough. 2010 goes through to the semi-final. We come to the semi-final of the top half. 2001 versus 2010.
That's tough, isn't it?
What do you think?
It's really difficult. These are arguably my two favourites. 2020 is up there, but...
I have a preference over one of these than the other.
I'm leading 2010.
That's my preference. I think the 2001 is a superb Rumble. And they're both superb. They really, really, really are. But I think the fact that it's 2001, it's the X7 build, just pushes it more than it is. Because you think about that final 6. That's where the match falls down to me. Billy Gunn is in the final 4. Rikishi's failed heel turn just randomly Savant kicks Undertaker out, and then Undertaker gets on his bike and drives back, and you hear it's awful. Billy Gunn hits the famous one Austin, flips the bird, and then Austin just throws him out. Then we have Austin Rock Showdown, which is great with the blood, and then they kind of did this messy Rock Kane throw over top, and then Austin.
I didn't mind that. I like to.
I'd rather have a moment of Rock getting eliminated. I think it would have been much better.
Protect him.
I don't care about protection. They're going to WrestleMania anyway. It's The Rock. By this point, you don't need to protect somebody. When you've got your level, you don't need protection anymore. And then Kane getting battered, I actually didn't mind that because it made Kane look like a monster.
Brilliant, just whacking him with a chair.
But I actually think the final 6 is the problem. The winner of 2010, I think the final 6 is a problem. Outside of Sean selling, Jericho and Edge have meant to have a feud, and they kind of just breeze past it. Like Edge walks in, throws Jericho out.
I think that's good though, because you don't kill the momentum. You go bang, he's in. Oh, I didn't expect that.
Yeah, but they didn't even do anything with it. I felt that it was that moment. Yeah. But I do genuinely think, if I'm not going to lie, I do think 2010 is better than 2001 because I've got 1992 is equal to 2001. I really do. I think everyone remembers the hardcore section, but the hardcore section was fine. It was just cool and interesting. There was that dead spot in the middle before Undertaker came to a great spot and eliminate everyone. I really enjoyed that while Rock's on the outside getting sold by the Big Show, who's wearing a girdle. Why are you wearing a girdle? I know you've been in OVW because of weight issues. Why are you wearing a girdle? But and then obviously the Drew Carey thing's really funny. These are 2 very good Royal Rumbles, and I think both worthy. But I think everyone goes 2001, and I generally think if you watch them side by side, there are more moments in the 2010.
Yeah, and from a time where it wasn't that big. 2010, the landscape wasn't great in terms of storylines and how into the fans were. So this Rumble coming out of nowhere and being as good as it was, it had no right to be that good. Mm-hmm. I would edge 2010, but I could go either way.
I'm saying 2010.
Yeah,
2010 is going to go through to the final of the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. We move into the bottom half of the draw. It's the 2004 Royal Rumble versus the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. Oh. So Chris Benoit's long number 1 run.
Mick Foley
Norton, that's superb. Brock Goldberg doesn't come in and eliminates him.
No.
Comes in and attacks him. Fine with that. Yeah. Okay with that. Then Goldberg gets eliminated by Booker T. No, that's wrong. Maybe. Can't remember. Kurt Angle, maybe. Something like that. The Spear to Nunzio.
Oh, amazing.
Billy Gunn returns in that Rumble.
I don't care.
I love Billy Gunn.
I don't mind Billy Gunn.
The 2020 Men's is better.
Wins.
Yeah. The 2020 Men's, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, I think. It goes through to the next round. But good win, though. Good win. 1998 versus the 2024 Men's. 98 is not good.
No, it's not.
It's got a great moment of Foley doing the 3. That's fantastic. Yeah. But I tell you what, Sam, this is Jobber Central. The Rock's in the final 2, and he goes, "There's the Rock." He was not The Rock yet. He was still IC title, hadn't done that moment. There are so many non-things. I like the fact that there was the storyline of Austin might not be in the match. He's been attacked backstage, but you know he's in the match. But it's quite boring.
It's really boring.
It's really boring.
Jobbers. It's following the trend of most 90s Rumbles.
Yeah.
It's not
2024, we'll probably give it a little bit more birth because it is just better. But the Rumbles in the Attitude Era aren't great. No. None of them are, actually, really, outside of 2001. 2006, 2008, 2 good Rumbles.
Oh, 2 good Rumbles.
2 good Rumbles. 2006, you've got Triple H's unbelievable performance. I think people think about Ray and coming in and Triple H is the one who holds it together. Yeah. Triple H is excellent. Opening bit as well. He does so much work in the opening bit because he does the Big Show and Ric Flair. And then Bobby Lashley comes in, Kane and Big Show do all that, and then he eliminates both. That's how you eliminate, not R-Truth doing it. Triple H eliminates Kane and Big Show. Yeah. That's fine by me. And then, obviously, the middle kind of
loses a bit of momentum, but that can happen.
Get boring.
RVD comes in and...
returns, RVD does his return. It makes the final 4. And then the match kind of peters, and then the final 3 is actually quite good. Yeah. Then you got 2008. Just so many good things. Bad. So many good things. I think we're both in agreement that 2008 probably nudges this anyway.
100%.
We want to respect Rey Mysterio for his performance. Obviously, Viva La Raza with Eddie probably shouldn't have won in the grand scheme of things if Eddie hadn't have died.
No,
but with Eddie dying, Rey is the rightful winner and had to win. I would have loved to see who would have been the projected winner in 2006 because looking at the main event... Looking at the main event, it was Cena, Triple H. Was Triple H going to be winning another Rumble?
It could have been Orton against...
No, and that's
would you have had Angle versus Orton? I think you could have had Taker versus Orton.
That's what I'm saying.
Taker versus Angle.
Would have been Taker. I think it might have been Taker.
And do the no out.
I reckon it might have been Taker Angle, and then I reckon that's what it was.
Yeah.
So maybe it might have actually been
Eddie as well.
Maybe it might have been Taker's return, and he wins the Rumble. Maybe that's what it would have been.
I think you're spot on.
Yeah. Anyway, 2008. 2019 Women's versus the 2000. I think this is pretty clear cut as well. Yeah. 2000's not good. No. Especially for Sam. Sam, do you want to talk about the 2000 Royal Rumble?
No, I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Why not? What's wrong with the 2000
Rumble? I
Rumbles?
don't know any of the entrants. It turns out Farouk didn't enter where I thought he'd entered.
Farouk is now our star of the 2000 Royal Rumble. There's not much spots. You've got the Rikishi spot at the beginning, then the dance. Awesome. And then we jobber...
Nothing happens.
Not jobber, mid-card purgatory.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. And then the weird Big Show Rock kind of mess up, let's be honest here. X-Pac's 30, and he gets thrown out but comes back in but doesn't win, so what's the point? The 2019 Women's is arguably the best Women's Royal Rumble.
I think so.
I think you could put it next to 23-24 really easily. I love this match. Becky Lynch is superb. I think we're going to give it to the 2019 Women's Royal Rumble.
Hands down.
The 2019 Men's has turned up with the 2011.
Oh.
So 40-man versus 2019. So this is Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
Can I just point out before we even get started? Outside of the actual end, I remember nothing from the 2019 Rumble. Does Samoa Joe come last?
Yes. Because they're feuding with Seth's faction.
No, Seth's faction's a different year.
2020. No,
yeah, it's 2020. Yeah,
gosh, so it's not even that.
Because Seth is a babyface, and he does the stomp on Braun to the outside. I remember nothing else.
You know what I remember? I remember Kurt Angle entering and looking really sad and old and really bad.
You got eliminated really quickly. Do you know what happened there?
What?
He wasn't in the Rumble. That was Zack Ryder, and they literally just went, Kurt Angle's a bigger name. Replaced Zack with Angle, but didn't change anything else. So in terms of how long he was meant to be and who was going to eliminate him, that's what happened there.
Wow. He looked like he needed to get out of there.
Dean's last match, pretty much?
No, he went until after Mania.
But it's pretty much his last main match.
Got eliminated by us
and then just did a flippity flu bar.
Yeah, did Shawn Michaels.
And he's like, "You're leaving. You're clearly leaving."
Yeah.
It's the 2011.
Yeah.
2019. I just don't remember any of it. I like the ending of it with the curb stomp. That's a cool ending. But it's very I don't remember being bored. We watched it live, but the women should have main evented.
Yeah.
Why did the women's main event? That was the main event.
Yeah.
Because everyone was knackered by the end of it. Oh, hang on, spot. That Nia Jax, Randy Orton.
That was funny.
There we go. There's your spot. Still doesn't sweep over 11. 11 is better. Yeah. 2007 versus 2003. Kind of my generation here. I remember 2003 in such detail. If I'm being pragmatic, not a lot happens. Yeah. If I'm being pragmatic, Shawn getting eliminated by Jericho from attack from behind is wonderful. Absolutely. It's one of the only times I didn't... I was going to change my mind what I was going to say. Loved that. Really loved that. Then Jericho, they kind of did a bit with kind of mid-carders and jobbers a little bit, and it was kind of fine. And then RVD came, and then they kind of threw a mid-card. It was the first time I ever saw the ring get full until then, by 2009 when they really filled it. And then at the end, Kane getting betrayed by The Undertaker kicking Batista out, who had been eliminated, and then Brock from behind in a kind of a bit of a pathetic win. Undertaker's return. I like this Rumble because I grew up with it. It's my second ever Royal Rumble, but the 2007 Rumble is better, so we will just bypass it. Yes,
that's fair. Yeah.
The only thing I will talk about this is Brock eliminating Team Angle, and it looked like Team Angle to eliminate him. So Team Angle got both their hands on each other's head like a Brock.
Oh no, yeah.
And they're going, and there goes Brock, and then they both go flying. Yeah. And then Brock F5s Matt Hardy onto the side. Wonderful. That's great. 2017 versus 2023 Men's. 2023.
Yeah.
2017. We haven't talked about it, but the wrong person won again.
And you could have had so many different people win. It was a really unpredictable Rumble going into it.
Well, to be fair, Orton winning was unpredictable. No one predicted Orton, but Bray's there. Have Bray win.
Yeah.
If you're going to do Bray and Orton at WrestleMania, have Bray win. Give Bray the moment.
Yeah, and it started off really well and just lost momentum towards the end, and it was just got disappointing.
Roman again.
Everyone hated Roman again. Taker. Everyone hated it.
Oh, they all booed, and it wasn't boo of heel, it was boo. And,
we don't like this Mania match because everyone wanted Cena Taker.
Taker looked rough.
Really
Goldberg looked rough. Brock didn't care, though he killed Enzo Amore, which is funny. The ramp was really long. They had to get on the little cart.
Mark Henry had to get a little scooter.
Big E as well. Big E tweeted going, "Oh, this is WWE saying I'm fat." But no, the 2023 Men's with Cody and Gunther again is better. But I tell you what, it's closer because I can't remember much from the 2023 Rumble. Not going to lie.
It's a bit it just does what it's supposed to do, nothing more.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
The 2002 versus 1989, 2002.
Yeah.
Big John Studd won. Yes, we had a Hogan versus Warrior. Great spot. But 2002 is better.
Yeah.
We are into the last 16 of the bottom half of the draw. We've got the 2020 men's versus the 2024 men's.
Easy for me.
It's easy for me. It's the 2020 men's. Yeah. I think we'll give the 2024 men's a little bit of chat because we didn't really do it before because it bruised past 1998. Cody pointing at Roman's a great ending.
Iconic moment.
Well done for Punk for getting through the rest of the match.
Yeah, and hey, Punk's first match in WWE for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened before Punk ended?
So Gunther and Sheamus were number 1 and 2. That was really cool.
No, they weren't.
They were?
That was in 2023. Gunther wasn't number 1. Gunther came later.
Cody winning the Rumble all just merged.
This is my point. What happened in the 2024 men's?
It's a great question.
And it was literally
no answer for you.
It's 12 months ago. It's not that long ago that we watched it.
What was
I remember from Punk onwards. By the way, Punk did not get a pop. It's really quiet. Really quiet. Yeah. And obviously Drew eliminates him. Gunther gets surprisingly eliminated in the 3rd, I believe, top of my head. It's the 2020 men's here.
Yeah.
We will probably go into detail when we get something there. But 2024, we were happy that Cody won. But I can't remember.
It was a bit meh. I expected more from Triple H.
Women's was better. Women's was excellent. The women's match was excellent. Yeah. 2008 versus 2019 women's. This is a tough one. These are two fantastic Royal Rumbles. Wow. Where do you go here? This needs a chat.
For me, because I don't think... So Becky's great. I don't think enough other things happen in 2019 women's to justify it being over what is frankly an absolutely all-time iconic Rumble.
It's so tough because it's the best women's one. And there is stuff that's happened before. There is things that happened in the Rumble, but I wouldn't say they were like... maybe iconic.
It's not like Michaels and Taker number 1 and 2. You got Bruce Buffer or Michael Buffer, whichever. One of the Buffers.
Yeah, it's Michael Buffer.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't say it though, because you'll get copyrighted.
Oh, will I?
He sues people for using it, for saying let's get ready to rumble. He sues people for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's an arsehole.
I've got nothing to sue for. I have nothing for you, Michael.
I'll give you a tenner. 2008 has so many moments throughout, and it's truncated at the end. I just want to give props to the 2019 because I think it is generally probably the best women's one. The 2024 is good, 2023 is good, but I really loved that. And the Becky, the Finlay going, go on, go for it. I love that. Yeah. I really, really love that. But it is 2008. Yeah. 2011, 2007. Can we finally put 2011 to bed, please, Sam?
I think we finally can.
Thank you. 2007 is better. Yeah. We will again probably talk about it more. But 2011. Can we talk about 2011 a little bit before we get eliminated?
It took a while to get this far.
It did. I generally hated that it was 40. I thought it was so boring. I was bored.
As a kid, I loved it because it was 40 and I was excited and bigger and better.
But have you ever watched it back since?
I've watched it a few times.
It's boring.
It's rose-tinted glasses.
The Nexus thing takes too long.
I just like it because I had it on DVD and I watched it so many times, and but I have to put that aside.
Senior eliminating all the Nexus things was also a terrible idea. For the second time, he killed the Nexus.
Buried the new Nexus, the second Nexus that he buried within 12 months.
Booker T, Cheer,
amazing.
Diesel,
Kevin Nash,
great.
Really
but the ending just sucked. Until Santino came out, but like Del Rio, who cared about Del Rio? Yeah. No one.
I respect the fact that they built a new guy. It was his first Rumble, and they actually gave it to him. Like, fair dues for committing.
But he's only been in the WWE like minutes.
But that's what I mean. I actually respect it because he's new. I respect the boldness, but
didn't win the title though.
Win no, because he wasn't great.
2007, 2023 men's versus 2002 men's.
Oh, we know who's winning.
I've got 2002 here.
It's fantastic, 2002.
So we'll give to a chat in the second one. 2023 men's with your amazing Cody and Gunther finale. Yes. Gunther starting off with Shambo is the correct thing to do. Oh, I've just remembered something from the 2024. Jay and Jimmy opened the Rumble.
That was good.
That's what it was.
That was good.
No, they're better than the Mania match. But yeah, the 2023, again, to me, I think the 24 is better than 2023. So 2002 will also go through again. Into the quarterfinals of the bottom half of the draw, and we've got heavy hitter versus heavy hitter here. 2020 men's and the 2008 Royal Rumble. Where are you hedging?
That is difficult. I'm going to go with 2020.
Do you know what? And do you know what, Sam? So am I.
Yeah.
2008 is the one that gave me the happiest moment. That feel-good moment, that joy that I've never been able to recreate once it's becoming a relative. I was 16 at the time. But there's so many things out. That to start with someone just eliminating everybody until they got to like 13.
The perfect person to do it. Perfect. And it's novelty because we've had groups waiting for people before, which is good. It's a good spot.
One
it can
person
be
on there.
One person, and it is Brock Lesnar is waiting for you.
Mm-hmm.
And because he's part-time, you don't get to see him wrestle these random people.
For this long as well.
No, like Nakamura and Cesaro and people like that, and Keith Lee.
I wish he gave them more for some of them.
I do as well.
John Morrison had only just returned for half a minute.
They purely put him in there because
so he could do the flip.
Which was amazing, but yeah.
But then, it built Drew. No one was watching this going, Drew is going to win this Rumble. Him eliminating Brock caused such a pop. It was one of the biggest pops I've heard in years. And then he just eliminates Ricochet and goes back to staring at Brock. And then you think, oh, what else happens? The return of Edge.
One of the greatest, if not the greatest return in history.
I cried.
I cried.
Yeah. I'm not that type of person. I did cry at the WWE 24 or whatever it is.
That documentary is one of my favourite documentaries.
That I cried at.
I've ever seen.
And to me, the 2008 has that Cena moment. But what else has it got? You've got Shawn and Undertaker start, and Shawn constantly trying to eliminate the Undertaker.
Really
You've got the Piper and Snooker moment.
Yeah, hilarious.
Oh, they look rough though, didn't they?
Of course, but that's almost part of what makes it quite fun.
I just look Kane
just goes. There you go.
And then, but outside of that, what else you got?
You got a really cool final three.
Evolution
team to eliminate Kane, and the final three is really good. But past that, yeah, it's really fun to watch.
It's star-studded. It's so star-studded.
But there's no Rumble like 2020, and I'm so unspeakably glad that it happened before the pandemic, like just before.
If that, I don't think we'd be talking about it, even if it's the exact same Rumble.
It's not.
I don't think we would have had it. So I'm still going 2020. You agree with 2020? Yeah. Lovely. One veto so far. 2007 versus 2002. Two very different Royal Rumbles.
2007 was great, but it's not in the same league for me.
2002 is my first ever Rumble, so you might have to take a little bit of the lead here, because I'm very, very biased here, because this is one of my favourite matches of all time. You've got 4 returns advertised beforehand, which made it interesting, because you knew they were coming. So actually kind of get that excitement. So a return or a shock's one thing, and you get that pop. But there he is sort of thing. So we had Goldust, who came up second. Then Val Venus returned. Val Venus was the only one who was actually returning. Everyone else, I think, was on have a one-off appearance. Godfather turned up, looked amazing. He went from 320 pounds to 260. And then Mr. Perfect just walked in and went, no, I can still perform.
Oh, yeah.
Last time I came here, you looked like I was on broken time. Nah, I've still got it. What a performance. Watching that match, why in the hell Triple H versus Stone Cold wasn't the main event of WrestleMania? I am still blown away that they went with Triple H Jericho. No, just go Austin. Jericho wasn't working, and he wasn't working then either. Why was he the main event? Because they wanted Triple H to have a big moment and just be obvious when. Just do Triple H Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Then Stone Cold doesn't have to deal with NWO. Yeah. I'd have had NWO win the tag titles and start taking titles away. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
It's just a mess in terms of the booking. But 2007 has the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels finale, which is still to this day the greatest finale of a Royal Rumble.
Hands down. But 02 has Maven eliminating Undertaker, which is one of the best eliminations that's ever happened.
My favourite elimination.
Yeah.
My favourite elimination.
You have Austin going on his
Undertaker's
own.
idea.
Yeah.
All Undertaker's idea.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement here. 2002 is better than 2007. Yeah. Good luck determining the next one. To get into the final, to face 2010, we've got the 2020 men's versus 2002.
That is difficult.
No vetoes here, so
no,
I've got the decision here, so I'm going to have to rely on you a little bit, because 2002 I'm very heavy on, because it's my favourite Royal Rumble pretty much, I would say. And then 2020 is probably my arguably favourite Royal Rumble.
What I can say here is, I think 2020, its winner puts ahead, because I know Triple H won, and that wasn't the wrong decision, but it was an obvious decision.
It was the most predictable Royal Rumble winner.
Whereas Drew in 2020...
No one knew.
Was insane.
No one knew.
And it was a really feel-good moment. As was Triple H's a little bit, because he returned from injury. It's really close. I would personally go 2020.
I want to pick 2002, but the 2020 men's is just better. I actually think, weirdly, it's the Brock thing that tips it, rather than Edge's return.
Yeah.
And rather than the finale. Finale is actually kind of whatever, with Drew and
good.
Roman and Edge. I think the finale of 2002 is much better, but I think we're going to have to decide that the 2020 men's is going into the final. And we have reached the finale. 2010, won by Edge, versus 2020 men's, won by Drew McIntyre. Is this the two that you got? Did you make this final? Did you have 2001? Did you have 2002? Did you have something else? Please put it in the comments below. Now, before we decide what we think's going to put in, who you think should win between 2010 and 2020, and tell us what your favourite is, or what you think should be the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. Sam?
I'm really struggling. Both Edge returns.
Yes, that's the interesting. It turns out we might be Edge fans.
That makes a Rumble, apparently. Edge has to return.
I actually have a clear-cut winner here.
You go in 2020?
2020, I think, is the clear-cut winner.
I think you can make the case.
I think the reason being is 2020 has very little dead space. Yes, it has a little bit of downtime after Brock goes, and they kind of have to build the ring back up again. But then they go mad with an Edge return anyway. AJ Styles gets injured, which is unfortunate. But in the 2010 one, there's so much kind of not a lot happening after Punk and until Shawn turns up. So I would argue from like Triple H turns up, what, 8th position?
Yes.
Something like that. And then Michaels is 18.
Yeah.
So you have 10 where kind of not a lot. I think MVP eliminates Miz.
Yes.
After MVP, there's a bit of that.
That's the thing.
I said not a lot. And then I really don't like, after the Shawn Michaels Triple H things happened, that kind of spot of Big Show, Mark Henry, R-Truth, Jack Swagger. Ultimately, I would say that 2010 has more moments in it. You've got Punk at the beginning, then you've got Shawn Michaels eliminating Triple H. You could even have the three-way stare down with Cena is included as well. Then you've got Shawn Michaels scrambling, Edge return, Edge winning. Whereas this, I would say, is threefold, really. It's only Brock, and then it's with McIntyre's elimination.
Yeah.
Then you could go Edge return, and then the finale. But the Brock thing lasts 20 odd minutes.
It never gets boring.
And it doesn't get boring.
At all.
Absolutely. So I think we're in agreement here.
I think it does have to be 2020, yeah.
We're agreeing with only one veto in the entire time, which is fascinating. And that was 1992 over 2010, I think.
Yeah, so
it's a really big hitter. We have decided that the greatest Royal Rumble is the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble.
And funnily enough, not the greatest Royal Rumble, as in the Saudi one.
Not the greatest Royal Rumble. No, it doesn't count. It's not canon.
It isn't canon.
Go away. I will not talk about it until we do only the good. Anyway, thank you for joining us for this long episode. What is your favourite Royal Rumble? What do you think of our decisions? What do you think of 2001 not making the final or even winning it? That's always the controversial one, but I still think if you put them side by side, I think I would say it's third.
I'd say it's definitely
third,
top 5.
At least. I think 2002 and maybe women's 2019, maybe?
Yeah, you really love that one.
I think it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, thank you for joining us. We will see you next time on another episode of The Brackets. Bye-bye!